everyone. Welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Food Yoga International, and you can help me help them by donating to our fundraiser here on Twitch, visiting their website, which I've posted in the chat, or simply by watching my streams and bringing your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. If you enjoyed today's stream, please support my creative work by becoming a Twitch subscriber to remove ads and get cute emotes, joining my Patreon to get illustrated postcards and prints in the mail, or sending me some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to all these are in my Twitch About section or in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time for illustration, and I am back to work on my Onomatopoeia bees illustration. This is going to be another addition to my Animal Onomatopoeia series, which I will eventually get published as an art book, but I've got to make a whole bunch more before that point. So we're just working on this one, and let me get to my Twitch tab, make sure I don't miss any chat. And where I left off yesterday was working on these flowers. I see here this, I remember this was the thing I left off on yesterday. Not sure how I felt about it. Still kind of eh. I really like what I did with this one. So I wonder if I can do something a little bit closer to this. But it needs to be the reverse. Because with this one, it's in shadow and then there's a few highlights. This one, it's being lit. These little yellow arrows I've created help show the direction of the light. So it needs to be white first and then add the dark. And then I haven't even done anything on this one yet. And I don't think I've done anything on this one either. So, let's see. This is the layer we want. Zoom in. And then I'm going to rearrange my physical workspace so that I can bring my tablet down into my lap. Well, sort of in my lap. It's on an arm, so it's not just sitting on my legs, but it's definitely touching my legs. So it's in my lap. Okay. Yeah, this is, I think I'm just going to erase this. Well, let's make this bigger. Try again. So it's hard to say what'll work since I'm really simplifying compared to the real world reference images that I'm using. So I'm trying to figure out what looks right, even though it is simplified. And that's why I'm just experimenting, because I don't have an answer, and there's probably no right answer. There's probably infinite answers. And that's why it's creativity. Some of these I meant to be actual extra petals. I was considering canceling today's stream because we were having some intense thunderstorms almost all morning. But they have cleared up just in time for the stream. And the weather forecast, last I checked it, I want to check it again. Last I checked it, it was chance of rain. Oh yeah, that chance has disappeared now. So there was chance of rain like an hour after the stream. Not even any at all now. No, I don't like this. I'm going to put this back. Seeing if adding a little highlight on here will make it look better. But I don't like it. Of course, it could be different zoomed out, but let's just try to get the whole thing done first, and then we can fine-tune other elements. So what is in here are folded up more petals like this. So we want it to be white because it's going to be lit up. Oops, let's change the blending mode. Oh, maybe that's good because that's just like what I did on the lower one. It's just like this one. This one's a lot smaller though, so I feel like I can get away with just having the single star. This kind of feels underdone. So maybe we'll add some more. See what that's like. Added more. Oh, that's looking much better. Let's just add a few more. There's some areas that are got a little too much white, it feels like right here. I think this is gonna look really good. Yay, I figured it out. This is exactly why, let's save. This is exactly why, even though it makes it take a lot longer, I prefer as much as possible to finish my illustrations in these 2-hour bursts. 2 hours a day instead of cramming in 8 hours in a single day. Yeah, it'll be done faster, but I won't have had the time to sleep on it, to just let it percolate in my mind while I'm doing other things. And my mind came up with a great solution. I didn't even have to try. It didn't even feel like trying. Yesterday, this was the last thing I worked on, and my brain was exhausted, and it felt like I couldn't figure it out. So this is exactly why my art takes a long time. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it taking a while. Okay, so we're done with that one, but there's plenty more. There's this big one. And actually this will show more. So yes, I've done this one. Okay, right. Can't click that and also use my stylus. Okay, and that one down at the bottom. One in the middle bottom I've done. Okay, the middle I have not done. And I haven't done this one over here. So I feel like tackling the small one first. Let's get warmed up with the small one, then we'll get this big behemoth. Though it'll be a lot easier because it's all those petals. It's just a whole bunch of petals. So this one, thinking about the direction of the sun, it's above and to the front, left, right, front, right a bit. So do something like that. Then take away some because, oops, because the sun might be hidden up here. These might be sticking up a little bit. And then similarly, let's add some where this roughly middle part is. And I think I'll do the little dots thing that I've been doing in this middle part too. Trying to make it a little less perfect right there. It's like this perfect line. Let's make it a little less perfect. That'll seem more natural. That's better. Let's zoom out and see what it looks like. Save. I think that's good. We'll be doing another layer of shadow later. I think that's good for the first layer. So that means all we have left, and I think this is the last that we have to shade, period, unless we consider these spikes. We haven't shaded the spikes yet. Now we definitely should, because here we've got some that are lit up, and then these ones should be in shadow. But as far as the petals go, this is the last one. Yay! So that's nice. It's a nice step forward. So let's see, light's heading from this direction. Yeah, I think it's better. As I have been doing most of the time. Add lots of shadow and then we'll erase away. So have shadow be the default and then bring the light into the scene. Satuita is here. And you got a Chef Goldblum. What the heck? How many things can we get from Jurassic Park in one day? Oh, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Thank you so much. 4-month subscriber. Yay. Thank you. Yay. Long time no Twitch chat, but not long time no see because I saw you like 2 days ago. No, wait, I didn't because you didn't come over. I saw you like 4 days ago. How's it going? Did you enjoy the storm? I bet you did. I almost canceled my live stream because I didn't want to risk losing my progress if a power outage happened, but then it cleared up just in time for my stream. So here I am. Alright, I suppose I'll share what I'm working on. I'm working on my Onomatopoeia bees. I'm figuring out the shading. This is the last effort of shading on round 1 for the petals on these flowers. So that's the stage I'm at. Oh, wow. Did you get hit by those huge... So, I was in the pigeon room / my Zen den when these huge blobs of icy rain were smacking the window, and it was so loud, and it was just covered with... It was almost like a jelly kind of consistency because it was so icy. So awesome because my favorite kind of weather, and it's been so long. We've had like 3 or 4 weeks straight of almost nothing but sunshine, which I'm doing my best to be positive and just enjoy everything. But that doesn't mean that my faves change. My fave is still rainy. Rainy, stormy, snowy, precipitous is my favorite. Big plop plops. Yeah, it's crazy. Hope we get some more. Haiku. Maybe. Doesn't seem likely, but maybe we'll get some more. Ooh. The fans are kicking up on my PC tower. Makes me want to save. Just in case. I've never had a problem with this particular computer, but I've learned enough times on other computers not to heed the warning. When it suddenly starts ramping up the fans, there is a chance that the computer might crash. Yeah, I think the sun would hit all of this. It's a letdown because it won't let down. It won't let down the rain. One day I just want to live somewhere closer. I don't think we technically count as the... You know what? I'll say Cascadia. I want to live in Cascadia there. Because it's like sometimes people include Boise in Pacific Northwest. And other people don't. It just depends. So if I say Pacific Northwest, it's like, well, but you're living there now. That's not what I mean. I want to live in Cascadia. I want so much rain. So much precipitation. Okay, if the sun is coming, so the sun is still coming down though, and we're looking from above, so we should definitely have a lot more light hitting here. Whoops. There. about that one though. I don't know. Because it's curving around the side here. Oh, you saw a Cascadia flag at the store. I wonder if it's for a team called that or if it's just to celebrate the area. It's funny. I've met people who said they moved to Portland and then they moved to Boise because they hated the weather. I'm like, no! Let me trade places with you. I love the rainy, wet, misty weather. Let me have it. Let me have it all. So this one's curving around too. So let's put it in shadow just to help it sit back. Regardless of what technically the light logic would be doing. Sometimes I'm just going to pick based on what the overall effect is rather than how realistic it is. Oh, I feel like I've seen that. Hold on, I gotta look it up. When you describe it like that, yeah. The Doug flag. There's a Wikipedia page about it. It says the Doug flag, also referred to as the Cascadian flag, or the Cascadia Doug flag, and nicknamed Old Doug, or simply the Doug, is one of the primary symbols and unofficial flag of the Cascadia bioregion, which roughly encompasses the U.S. states of Oregon and Washington, the Canadian province of British Columbia, and other parts of North America's Pacific Northwest. It was designed by Portland, Oregon native Alexander Beretic, maybe? Probably mispronouncing that. In the academic year of 1994 to 1995, it is named after the Douglas fir featured on the flag. So that's why it's called the Doug, because it's the Douglas fir. That's so great! Hold on, I want to learn about this real quick. Okay, I'm not going to read everything about it, but... Okay, here's the quote from the maker. I designed the Cascadian flag, aka the Doug, way back in the mid-1990s when I was a graduate student studying Eastern Europe. Though I totally love the people, cultures, and landscape of Eastern Europe, I was deeply homesick for the forests of Cascadia, specifically the Willamette Valley forest I grew up around. One day, as I sat on a hill with my companion, I had this vision of a flag where the Cascadian landscape came to mind. Prior to the design and its popularity, the idea of Cascadia, specifically the bioregion, was pretty much an abstract concept reserved for radical geographers and hip sociologists. The flag conveys something far more tangible than an abstract concept of demarcation of space. The flag captures that love of living communities in our bioregion. Unlike many flags, this is not a flag of blood nor of the glory of a nation, but a love of the bioregion, our ecological family and its natural boundaries, the place in which we live and love. Ah! I need that! I need that flag! Oh, you're reading it too! You've got it too! You're posting it so everybody else can see it in the text. Ah! Yeah, if you went and got it, I could pay you back for it too. Oh wow, if anybody goes to the Wikipedia page, there's a picture of a huge flag being carried by fans at a Portland Timbers soccer Portland Timbers game, Portland, Oregon, 2010. And he has the person who made it. Okay, listen to this. The Cascadian flag is copyrighted by Alexander Beretic, I don't know, and his company, the Cascadian Flag Cooperative, which claims to enforce protection of the ideals espoused by the flag's creator in its use. Yeah, I've seen it before. Wow. Lots of people have used it for stuff. In 2015, Beretic expressed his hope that his designs would not be used for hate, exploitation, or anything that goes against the values or principles of bioregionalism. Furthermore, he said, in seeking out a bioregional flag, I believe that it's the bioregion that captures the artist, not the artist capturing the bioregion. Wow. Yep. Oh, the flag features part of Seattle Sounders. More soccer! Seattle Sounders home jersey, with a home jersey being displayed on the back near the neckline. Cascadia movement. Hold on, I want to look what Wikipedia says about Pacific Northwest. Oh yeah. Though no official boundary exists, the most common conception includes the U.S. states of Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and the Canadian province of British Columbia. So literally, Cascadia is everything but Idaho in the Pacific Northwest. So I can't believe that. For one, I got that right. And for two, you found that flag. Well, that's a totally Portland thing to do in my mind. I really vibe with Portland, even more than Seattle, ironically, even though Seattle was my favorite for a long time, and I'm like, oh, but but Seattle, the geography and the environment, the natural environment, I like even more than Portland. That's the sound area is just can't be beat, but the culture is actually even more my kind of culture in Portland. Wow, I did not know that I would get on that topic just because of the weather. I guess it's not surprising, but... Okay, building up more of the shading and highlighting. After that delicious jaunt through the Wikipedia rabbit hole. Just can't help myself, I love it. I love Wikipedia. I've donated to them multiple times. I don't donate to them every time, I admit, but that's because I make regular donations to places that are even more important to me. Monthly and monthly recurring donations and my monthly donations here through the fundraising that I do on Twitch as well. So I can't be donating to everyone all the time everywhere, but they are a completely unrelated to animals organization that I actually support on occasion just because I have so much fun going through all the articles. Cascadian Fault Zone. Ooh. Wow. Does it say anything about potential dangers of living in the area because of that? You know, like, avoid living on the coast. So, I actually don't want to live in Portland proper. I don't want to live in Seattle proper. I don't like really big cities. But I would like to live, you know, within, let's say, an hour's drive or something. That would be ideal. Some smaller, much smaller little town that's nearby. I don't like this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. I like these two framing this one, but it's not happening there, so I'm going to do that there. Well, let's zoom out and see what the overall effect is. It's not bad, but it also seems a little flat. Like, I've put so much white way back here. And I think there would be more white here because of the way it's opening up. So let's add some shadow back in. It's hard because this is all from imagination. I don't have a reference image that shows me what the light would be doing. I have reference images for the shapes of the flowers and the colors and everything, but the lighting is all different on all of them. Oh wow. Well, I guess I won't live in Astoria. It's not worth it, even though The Goonies is awesome and one of my favorite movies. I wonder if The Goonies is the reason why I love pirates so much. I mean, you know, if it's sowed the seed. Well, definitely Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland did it too, because I rode that ride so many times. I don't even remember how young I was the first time I rode on it. But every time we went to Disneyland, I'd stand in that line for 2 hours. Even though I was a little kid, you'd think the attention span would be short enough. But no, it was worth it to get on the pirate ride. So, it was probably a mix of Goonies and Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And then Pirates of the Caribbean movies came out and One Piece came out. But I already loved pirates by then. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that's gotta be it. That's the trifecta. Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, The Goonies, and Hook, for sure. I remember the first time when it came out, we went with Aunt Tina, and I still remember, and I love that movie so much, I still remember I got a bag of peanut M&Ms, and I never got candy, but she got me peanut M&Ms, and I still remember eating them, and they were my treasure while I'm watching a pirate movie. Oh yeah, I'm up at Treasure Island. Actually, I think I even saw some other sort of more classic Treasure Island adaptation too. That's definitely another influence. Yeah, there's too many awesome that golden age of piracy. The stories about it, but also I've read a book about pirates focused on that, and a lot of it is actually fairly accurate. Like the idea of it being freedom, that being a pirate you were more free. For instance, one of the things that would happen to people is, well, supposedly this is the story of why certain pubs have clear bottom mugs. And the story is that if you accepted payment from the British Navy, then you could be brought onto the ship and made to work. And what they would do is drop a little coin in your drink. And then you drink the drink, and then there's the coin there, and they'd be like, oh, you accepted payment, you're coming with us. And then it was basically human trafficking, because you can't get off the ship once it's gone. You know, you're out in the ocean, you're not going to swim back unless you can get off really quick, but then they'll just catch you again because they see you. And that's, so pirates were actually more free, even though maybe they were more harsh to people who misbehaved on ship, but at least people joined more freely than they did in the Navy. And other things was the pirate captains wearing elaborate coats and jewels and stuff is probably accurate, because they would steal them from the ships that they that they pirated, so they would have these things and they would wear them to show off. Okay, I'm gonna actually take away more here. Now, the stuff like pirates were actually good guys and just, you know, they were just having some fun or whatever. No, pirates were bad. They were horrible to people. To, like, the neutral people? That's a totally different thing. They were really, really bad. But there's a grain of truth in the popular pirate stories. That's what I'm getting at. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what I saw. Yeah. That's funny. I have been doing that accent recently because we've been playing a pirate game at Friends Lunch on the weekend. And the person who does the best pirate accent... No, the best pirate impersonation gets to pick who goes first in that game. So nobody wants to compete with me, so I'm always giving my Long John Silver, and then everyone's like, nah, whatever, just pick. So, but it's fun. It's fun to pretend to be a pirate. I wonder if I was a pirate for Halloween ever. I feel like I must have been at some point, because when Pirates of the Caribbean came out with a movie, we had like those tricorn hats and stuff. Why wouldn't I use that for Halloween? Okay, let's see if this has improved it. That is better, but it seems a little too shadowy now. I think this whole area should be a lot brighter. So let's just make a big eraser. It's so amazing having the replacement nib in my stylus. It still goes shh whenever it's on, but on the screen, but it isn't making that rough feeling. And the shh is a slightly different sound too. Okay, I think this is a lot better. So let's add some more. Wait, that's not what I want. Oops, I made it too big. Here we go. Oh, I shall look at the video after this then. I love seeing about those things like accents too. I heard once this one actor actually lost his part because they're like, yeah, we wanted a British person to have an accurate accent, so just use your native accent. And he lost the part because he used his native accent, which is actually almost exactly like an American accent. So that was very interesting. That was frustrating to learn because that shows ignorance on the part of the movie makers there. But on the other hand, it was interesting to learn that there's an accent in England, or the British Isles anyway. Maybe it was like Wales or something, but I'm pretty sure it was actual English, and it's pretty much like American. Felt tip and a spring on styluses. Interesting. Well, I just bought a whole new 10-pack of these ones, so I'll be using these for a while, but Yeah. British covers a lot of people. Yeah, technically, it could even include Scots accents as well. Aoife did a big heaving breath. She was freaked out because of the storm. That's the only thing I don't like about storms now. There's nothing I can do to help the pups, and they're so scared. They're both so scared. Aoife just shakes and shakes. She came and crawled in behind me because I was sitting at my Zen Den table, which is a table with it's a low table with a floor mat, and I sit on a cushion. And she climbed in behind me and was just trembling the whole time, because the thunder just kept rolling. So I'm glad she's relaxed now, sleeping, napping. Okay, thinking we're getting closer. To be honest, this whole process has been making me feel really overwhelmed because every single one of these flowers is its own project. But that's why live streaming is so great for me, because it just forces me to get on here and do it. Just go ahead and do it. It's better if I get it done now instead of putting it off. Alright, this one I'm going to change. I don't like that. Change that too. "15 minutes until break time." Yeah. That's maybe part of the reason why I decided to do the background first. Because the bees I have separated onto different layers, so I could totally work on them and then work on the flowers, but save the best for last. That works. That works better for me. It's too easy for me to make excuses. So I've had to learn how to get around my own excuses. I guess what's really giving me a lot of anxiety about this piece is just how long it takes. We're on, what? Part 28. I've been working on this for so long, and yet I think I'm only maybe halfway done, because it's not just coloring and shading, it's also adding in all of the onomatopoeia, adding the little speech bubbles and everything else, and the background's not done. This is just a temporary background until I work more on that. I mean, it might end up being the final one. I'll just add some more tweaks to it, but it's definitely not going to be just like this. This is too basic. This part is bugging me. Something about this doesn't seem right. Maybe it would be getting more light. bugging. Yes, it keeps happening. I kept noticing it. Before I didn't notice it this time until you pointed it out. It keeps happening. This piece is bugging me. Bug bees. Bug bees. A little bit better. No, I don't like that. Nope. I won't add more back in. Just leave it like that. Let's see what it looks like. And it's so subtle. I guess that part just bothers me about the flower now that I've got the color on. Well, I'll just leave it like that. Oh, cool. Now I really have to watch it. I wonder if I've seen those pirate books. Maybe that's also part of the reason why I love pirates. Can't remember any books in particular. I think I might have had a copy of Treasure Island, but I don't think I ever actually read it. It's definitely on my to-read list right now as an adult. Okay, so let's call it good. The shadow level for Blooming Bud's petals is done. That's the first layer of shadow. We'll be adding another layer later. Now we're going to do the spikes. I'm going to call this shadow. Won't take very long, this. And Control G to clip it. Oh, nope, I can't because I didn't press enter. Okay, now Control G to clip it. Angus Constam. Interesting. So that person must just be literal pirate expert for life, since you had the books as a kid and then there's this video. We didn't have YouTube. Or we didn't have online video, period, as kids. Okay. I'm going to choose a shadow color. Boop. Probably as good as any. Oops. Change that blending mode to normal. So maybe we'll say, oh right, this one I was considering almost entirely covered in shadow because of all of these other flowers and this big bee. So I'm going to do most of these on the shadow layer, and then I'll leave a little bit at the top because I've got a little bit going on up here. Do something like that. Okay, what's the next spiky one? Oh, there's two of them below. I love clipping the layers because I can just freely add this shading and I don't have to worry about keeping in the lines or anything. It's so convenient. And it looks like the last spiky one is over on the right side. don't call that good. Use the green as a guide. Save. I haven't saved in a while. Ooh, you know what? I just realized that I did not change my fundraiser. Hold on, I'm going to do that real quick. How do I do that? Oh, I have to open this. It's still last year's last month's fundraiser. It's my fundraisers, so we will stop this one. Woo! We raised $30 of the $25 goal. Yay! Of course, I restart these every year, so some of that was from a previous year, but there was at least I think a $15 donation from Wolf Axe 2. Okay, so I'm making sure that I don't already have one for this month's Charity of the Month, and I don't see one for Food Yoga International, so I'm going to search. Food Yoga International is awesome because they provide people who are suffering from hunger with free vegan healthy meals. Among other things, they have educational programs, all kinds of stuff. Create fundraiser, yay! Our goal amount will be, we always start at just a modest $10, 10 US dollars. Save. And start. Yes, start fundraiser. Yay! Yesterday was the first stream of the month, so I forgot to do that when I updated all my other fundraiser stuff. Peter Pan and Wendy. Is it a relatively new one? There's so many, I can't say whether I've seen it or not. Okay. So the spikes are done, because that was easy. Oh, it's a newer Disney movie. Well, then I can probably watch it, because it's probably on Disney+. In fact, that's probably where you watched it, huh? It's likely. Oh, I forgot to name this Shadow 1. Alright. Now that I've done the shadow on all of the flowers, I feel like it's a good idea actually to do the first layer of shadow on the bees. That way everything will get shaded evenly and I can use each other as a way to determine how the shadow should be. I don't know if that makes sense, what I'm explaining, but it makes sense in my mind. So, let's turn on the color layers. I had these color layers turned off just because they're so vibrant, which is the point, but it was hard to see the flowers. Hard to look at the flowers with this, but now we're actually going to be shading on these bees, so we need to see them. So let's see, maybe I will put this in a folder. Alright, hold on a second. I need to change my physical workspace a bit so I can use my keyboard more freely. Oh, that's good. I do not watch the animated Peter Pan. I don't listen to the soundtrack. Nothing. It is so bad. Even as a kid, before I knew what racism was, it was bad. It made me feel bad. I didn't know why. I just didn't like it. Peter Pan is not, the Disney animated Peter Pan is not a reason why I like pirates. And I never really understood why Tinkerbell was so popular. I think we've had this conversation. Either on my stream or with you, I can't remember. With you, Satuita. Oh, good. Because probably, I imagine the source material is also a problem. So. Oh! Yeah! Nice. Yeah, I should watch it then. If it resolves those issues, then it would be worth it. Okay, I'm going to make a folder for the lines as well. That way I can just close this stuff and it's not overwhelming with all these different layers. Oh, good. That's how I always understood it anyway, with Wendy being the main character. Although, I feel like in the Disney animation, it felt like she was always trying to ruin all the fun for everybody. I don't know if that's how it is in the original, though. I was not fond of any character. Really. I guess the dog, Nana. The poor dog. She was locked outside or something. So she's just like treated like crap. And she's the only character I like in that movie. Okay. Maybe we can start with the smaller bees because it's a little less intimidating. Oh! But it is break time. Yay. I mean, basically, we've got a few seconds. But let's just go on break. Let's take a nice 5-minute break, get stretched and refreshed, and come back. I'm going to put my Be Right Back sign on, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I am all stretched out and re-energized, ready to get back to work on bees. My Technicolor bees. I think these might be the most vibrant neon-like colors I've used so far in any of these pieces. Of course, this is also the most amount of animals that I've depicted in a single one of these pieces too. His Skittles look like the bees. Maybe that's where I was inspired from. Okay, let's see. Color. So I guess we'll start on lower bees. These are below the flowers, that's why they're called lower bees. So I guess we just go ahead and start. So we'll make a new layer. Yeah, this is gonna have a ton of layers. I'm calling this shadow 1, but I keep forgetting that I might, but maybe I won't. I'll call it shadow 1. Sometimes what I've done is lock the pixels on shadow 1 and then only add shadows to that, but I might want to add darker shadows outside of there, so I'll probably make my own. Make another layer, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now we just got to figure out what we want to do for this. It should be a lot simpler than the flowers, so that's great. That gives me heart. I don't know. I guess that's what it is to be an illustrator. I always make it harder for myself every time. Every piece is more complicated than the last one. But because I'm not satisfied, I want to keep growing and get better. Okay, so looking for, well, that's a little bit too far. You know, I'll just choose from within this range a darker color. Let's not make it too complicated. Alright, I'm going to make it a little bit cooler though, like that. There. Okay. Is that dark enough? Maybe it is. Yeah, I guess it's dark enough. So the bees are a roundy shape, so I'm going to make it a roundy overall shadow. Put some shadow here. I mean, this is so tiny. This might not even show up, especially because this is eventually meant to be printed. So this might not make any difference whatsoever, but may as well put it in there just in case. Got Gardein brand meat crumbles for cases of yummy. Gardein is one of my staple brands. I'm always getting stuff from them. I mean, they're so accessible too. They're in like all the stores, and everything they make is delicious. I got a bunch of their soups because I like keeping soup in the pantry in case I need like a really small dinner because I had an unexpectedly big lunch or something, or I want a little extra something or whatever. Maybe I just feel like having soup. So I've been having Gardein and what's the other brand? Upton's Naturals. Upton's Naturals. And I was so happy recently. I learned about why BPA is so bad. I always heard, oh, like BPA is bad, but I never really knew why. And I just recently learned why. So I was like, yeah, I don't want any BPA cans anymore. I'm not going to get BPA cans anymore, period. And the Upton's Naturals cans didn't say whether they were BPA free or not. And I was like, oh no, my favorite soups. So I emailed them. And asked them, you have BPA in your cans? And they said no, all of their cans are BPA free. In fact, they said all of their packaging is BPA free. So that's excellent. I'm so happy I can continue having my favorite Upton's Natural soups. Yeah, the quick meals. This is so good. Sometimes you're just too tired, or you forgot you were going to do meal prep, and it's like, oh crap, there's literally no time, or else I'm going to have to stay up in order to eat. That's kind of counterproductive. I also seen your message in between there. That's the challenge, like puzzles in Zelda dungeons. Mm-hmm. It actually feels really refreshing to be on the bees now, because that really was the flowers were so hard. But I got through it. I did it. Before I got in the habit of live streaming, I probably would have found any kind of excuse to put it off. And day after day, week after week, and then finally it'd be like, well, if you're going to get this out to your Patreon members, you have to get it done. And then I would have to do like some binge arting and lose sleep for several days on end in order to get it done. No more. That is not my MO anymore, and it's great. So I'm adding lots of little lines, not just because of the shading, but also to add some fuzzy texture. So these are based on Hunt's bumblebees, so they should be very fuzzy. A little false hope for you. Motorcycle. We have so much of that nonsense over here that I don't get tricked anymore by that kind of thing. But it is disappointing when it's like, oh, what's that thunder? Like, oh no, it's the engine. When cut some highlight fuzzies in too. When I started doing this kind of thing, I realized how much more effective it was. To not just have this designated shadow area, but also let the highlights come in over there a little bit too. Yeah, I might actually just shade right on this layer, but we'll leave it like that for now. Actually, let's zoom out and see what it looks like. Bleh, human noise. Yeah, that's my opinion too. Yeah. Well, I'm not really actually feeling the shading, but then again, the light is meant to be coming not directly from the side, but rather a little up, because it's the sun in the sky. So the sun's not directly above them. It's not noon, but it still is above them. So maybe that's fine, especially once I add some highlights. Or maybe it's just not dark enough. Let's darken the color and see what happens. Or do we just literally do darkness a little bit? Oh, maybe that's all it needed. There, make it darker. Would love to hear elk in person. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard a real one. What? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I've heard not wolves, but coyotes. I've heard coyotes when we lived in Arizona/California. Just out doing coyote things. Okay, it still needs a little bit more shading, I think. Even considering the lighting. I just want to add a little bit more. Oops, wrong way. Ah, I'm the wrong color. Gotta select the new color. There we go. A little bit more. Maybe I won't cut the highlights into it quite so much. We can use the next level of shadow to get a little bit more texture. I will cut some back in though. Maybe tinting shadows blue like the sky and highlights slightly yellow. Well, I did make this color a little bit blue. So we're on that track. I didn't do it that much though, just a little bit. So I'm aiming for anime style. Maybe manga style, but mostly anime style. Really super vibrant. Let's see. I think that might be better. Oh yeah, that's way better. Save. What's the next beat? Oh, it's getting quite warm in here. I wonder if it's warmer outside. Let me see if I open my window. It's cooler or warmer. No difference. Maybe the airflow will help. I'll leave my window open. Thanks to all that rain, it's so much cooler. I haven't been able to open my window for a while because it was so hot that it was actually hotter outside, which is the first time that's happened this year. Definitely not the last. Shadow 1. And clip it. This beat, oh, it's this one. Okay. I was just making sure that I'm actually colored on the shadow layer. But I guess I would have been able to tell because it would have gone outside of the designated area. Now look at this teeny tiny bee. This might be the smallest bee. Oh yeah, I think that it's not windy, but just having the window open. It's helping with airflow in here, and I'm hearing some awesome bird going beep, bree, bee, beep, bree, bee. Okay, what I learned from the last one is I need to make it darker than I think. Hopefully that'll be dark enough. I tinted it blue a tiny bit. Not much, just a tiny bit. Ah! Oh, because I'm not on normal blending. There we go. Yeah, I guess I'll just basically do what I did for the flowers, which is about halfway across, add the shadows, then mess with it from there. What a great bird that's outside. I don't think I've ever heard this bird before. I can't do the actual sound that it's doing. It's just too much for my weak human vocal organs. Beep, brrr, something like that. Oh, that looks good. Yay. So the next one is down here. It's kind of a yellowish green. Oh, the bees are so much faster. The flowers will probably end up being faster now too because I've got the base done and I've got the experience in my head of what am I doing in this illustration in particular to make things look like they are in light and shadow. So I've figured out the logic that I am going to employ and how the physical movements even of how to make it happen. So hopefully the shading will go faster and faster. There's also just going to be less to shade the farther I go. I'm mostly saying this for myself because I feel like this is never ending and I'm never going to finish. I've been working on it for so long. Okay. Let's make it a tiny bit cooler and make it darker. Wait. I like to select it, then hit OK, and then go back in, and then that way I can compare. Let's make it a little bit cooler. You can even see it starts to look darker even though I just moved it up along there. And then we'll make it darker like this too. I don't know if that's dark enough. There. I didn't go far enough that first one, so I want to make sure to go far enough. And this is nice because this shadow helps cement the idea that this is yellow-green and not yellow, because I didn't want any yellow bees because I want them to all be unnatural colors. On purpose. Wow, what a great bird it is out there. I've never heard this bird before. It's the only one. Oops, let's make lines that make sense with the way the fuzzies work. That's a little bit too... I don't know what the word is. It's not the look I'm going for. Maybe that's good. Let's back out and see. Oh, you're hearing the bird? Another bird's coming up too. It doesn't have a musical of a sound. It's like meow 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 meow. Oh. It is so peaceful now. You wouldn't know that it was crazy thunderstorms earlier. The sky is completely blue from where I am. Oh, there's a little bit of clouds on the horizon where the storm retreated. You can just barely see them. Otherwise, it's completely clear. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, all the lower bees are done. We can double check, but... Oops, wrong one. Yeah. Yay, lower bee is done. Now for the upper bees. Oh, you're gonna find it. Yay. I always like to do that, but obviously I shouldn't do it right now. I already spent time not working on the illustration by reading about the Cascadia flag, so... It's up to you. It's up to you to find it for me. do it. It's so... I don't know what the term is. It's so fast. Oh, it's so peaceful outside. It's making me yawn. Alright, first we're going to select that color. No, select this color, please. I don't know why it does that sometimes. I try to select and it's like, you want to select every single color that you hover your cursor over? But, oh, no! Okay. Make it a little cooler. And darker. And I learned from that first one, I need to be a little bit more bold here. Alright, the sun's coming from this direction. Oh, let's make it much bigger. We need it much bigger. Whoa! No! I erased it! No, 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 no. Okay, I forgot a whole step. Make a new layer. Then clip it to the base layer. And also change the blending mode on my brush to normal. There. Oh, that's better. Woo! Ah, it sounds like a starling. Yeah, I like it when I have been able to find websites that have sort of directories of all kinds of bird sounds for the same species, because what I've found is that the same species could still have multiple different cries depending on what they're communicating and whether they're male or female or a juvenile or adult or all these different things. So it's sort of a myth that I feel like I grew up with, that birds have the one cry that they do or whatever. But they say all kinds of stuff. They literally have language, which I learned. I had heard of animals having their own languages before, but I learned in depth about the languages of birds as far as what we humans have been able to figure out from the book called The Bird Way. It was incredible. It was awesome learning all of that. Oh, there's a squirrel. Beep, 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 beep. That's what that chip, 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 chip. That's a squirrel. Chip, 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 chip. I've found that they make those kind of noises as a warning when there's a predator around. Which includes, sometimes they'll do it at me, which I'm like, I totally understand. Totally understand why you think I was dangerous. You don't know that I, as an individual, would never do anything purposefully to harm you, but they definitely do it to the dogs. They do it when there's a cat out there. Or a bigger bird, like a crow or a hawk or a falcon. It's pretty cool that we get hawks and falcons in our trees right here. Right in the middle of the city. Peregrine falcons and red-tailed hawks. I've seen both in our trees. It's so nice to be able to make some organic lines and just kind of freestyle it and not be worried about precision so much for a minute. Oh, it's definitely a starling. Ah, I know what it looks like then. Yay, thanks for looking that up. This is such a great sound. Alright, feeling pretty good about this. Let's zoom out. Oh, it looks pretty good. I think I'll keep it like that. There's still plenty of room for the next level of shadow and then the level of highlight. You've heard its other calls when you garden. Sometimes sound like R2-D2. Yeah, they're like little black birds with yellow beaks, right? I feel like I've seen them if that's what they are. Alright, bee center up. Oh, it's my favorite bee. This one in the middle, which is going to get eaten by the gutter when it's in book form. This one's my favorite. Shadow 1. Oh, okay, yay. I love all the different birds we have. We have so many birds. Alright, it's really acid yellow. A little cooler and darker. And once again, this looks like it'll be a great way to make sure this bee looks like more on the green side than the yellow side, because I didn't want any natural colored bees. Originally, the idea was that each illustration would feature a color. So it'd be like red, like the cats would be red, the dogs would be blue, or whatever. But as I tried to make that work, it became more and more troublesome, and eventually I landed on, let's just make the whole thing rainbow. We'll just make each animal rainbow, and each animal will be its own color. So that's how I got here. The ones at Daddy's house like to sneak inside the house. Oh, they're smart. Birds are so smart. And I learned so much about them whenever I'm doing my griffins stuff, because all my griffins are based on real birds on the front half. I'm combining animals, so it matters to me to be accurate. To have that grounding in nature. So I just keep learning about how amazing they are. Alright, the wings here... How do I want to address this? The wings are translucent. Okay, I've got to look at the wings. I'm going to get iNaturalist up. this has become... I already had iNaturalist before for making nature observations and asking people to help me identify stuff. But in the last year or so, I realized I could use it to find tons of reference images. Hunt's bumblebee. You have to put the punctuation in there too to find it. There we go. Put in United States. Hunt's bumblebee. Oh, perfect. The very first image is so close to what we've got right here. It's a different angle, but it shows the wings. Yeah, the wings are going to have to be their own color. Or something. Because I'm not doing black. Actually, maybe they can still be green. How do I want to do this? It's hard to choose. So the wings, even though they are translucent, they're overall quite dark. And while the rest of the body is black, yellow, and orange, these, when I blur my eyes, when I blur my vision, so that I can just get an overall idea of the color, it looks brown more than anything else. So that the wings are not clear, they're not glass-like. They get darker as they get closer to the body, which makes sense because they're on top of black fuzzies. But this makes me realize that these bees have black stripes, and so far what I've done is make every color these vibrant colors. So the black is also this super bright color. So since I've done that, it seemed like it would follow that I could just let the wings be also green, and that they don't need to be a different color. Since I'm not differentiating on the body between the black areas, the yellow areas, and the orange areas. So I'm talking myself through what I'm seeing and what I could do. Because I could treat the wings separately, give them their own layer and make it transparent and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like if I were to go that far, I may as well color in the black patches too. Let me zoom out. So I think they look fine without the black patches being colored in. The black patches would include all of their legs and that little patch that's above the heart-shaped fuzzies above their wings. And then this patch of fur above that. So there's this bald patch here, and then this next part is also black. Their head is yellow? Need to see one from the head to see. Let's see. Here's one. No, their head is black too. But there is a yellow band. So this part is black, and then I guess this part is yellow. So that would be yellow. And then their head is black. Maybe just a single transparent wash in the wing. Yeah, maybe I will... It's so hard when you're making stuff up. It's actually harder. It's harder to make stuff up. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to color the whole bee, because you know what? All the other bees, I was planning on creating a separate wings layer anyway, because all the other bees, except for 1, 2, 3 of them that are on flowers, they were going to have their wings added separately, digitally, because when they're beating, it goes so fast that it's just a blur. You can't see the wing. You see this sort of shine where the light is hitting the wing, and maybe the shadow where the shadow is cast, but you can't really see the wing. So since I'm doing that anyway, I'll make these still wings part of that. So for now, I'll just shade everything as if I'm not even seeing the wings, other than, you know, if the wings are casting a little shadow or something, but or maybe I even will shade the wings, but then we'll just add something on top. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. But it's also fun. Yeah, maybe this, because the bees are a bean shape. That's what I learned when I was first chivifying the bees. So actually, that curve would probably leave a little shadow here, a little shadow here. I have to put more effort in now that it's a bigger bee. That bird is still going. Whatever they're saying, it is really important to them. Let's get a smaller brush. That's still a little bit big. I'm trying to match the lines a little, maybe make it a little smaller, but something like that. That's all right. I guess they're done. The bird is done. They said what they had to say. And that's that. Oh, now, I guess everybody was listening, because now a whole bunch of other birds are starting up. Oh, no, they're not done. Doing these little floppy lines is so fun. Yeah. All the trees around here, it's probably like apartment complexes for all the animals. Especially for the bugs. There's got to be like thousands and thousands of bugs living in the trees. I meant to change the blending mode first, and it didn't happen. Alright, let me zoom out. Yeah, I need a lot more light on the head. This light is coming more from the side. I can't do it at all. Can't make that sound. Beep, 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 bee. Okay, how's this? Oh, that's better. Alright, and with the light coming that way, I'm going to add a little highlight on this fuzzy part. A little more highlight here. Oops. Let's save. I haven't saved in a while. It's amazing to work on these bright colors after working on the more natural colors for so long. Let's bring in a little bit more highlight under the wings here, because it feels like it too perfectly ends at this wing, as if that wing is doing it, but just a little bit, just something like that maybe. Well, the big fuzzy might be blocking the light anyway. Oops, not that. Oh, 10-minute warning. 10 minutes left in the stream. Still not feeling right. Maybe if I just put all shadow here. Start over. I feel like that fixes it. So the wings are covering this area. Again, they're not transparent, they're translucent. Maybe even be better to take everything back that's under the wings and add their own highlights on that separate layer. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Starling is still going. Ooh, it changed its pattern. It just went beep, 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 beep. Wow, I wonder what it is saying. It's clearly saying some specific message because it changed it. Yeah. I wish we had cicadas. So many people talk about them like they're annoying, but when we lived in Arizona, I loved it in the summer. And it was just this, and it was so loud, and there were so many, and their little shed exoskeletons. You could not walk on the sidewalk without you had to crunch on their exoskeletons because they were all over the ground. It was really fun living with cicadas. Beep, beep, boo. I can't do it. I can't imitate it. I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I can't help myself because I keep hearing it. I keep wanting to try. Okay, I'm actually going to take away the shadow on these veins on the wing. Type that goes dormant. Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah. And then they all wake up. Oh, 17 years. Yep. I saw a documentary about that, or at least it was a clip, because I saw video footage. It's so cool. I love learning about how awesome animals are and all the cool things they can do. Things that they do. That's looking pretty good, I think. I think that's a nice way to go. This one, I imagine, won't be catching as much light, so I'm going to leave it. Let's see what it looks like zoomed out, though. And also save. Oh, that'll be fun. Maybe we can see pictures of the new baby cicadas who took 17 years to grow up. They're born as teenagers. So I like what I've done here. I'm actually going to take it a little bit farther. This part. Maybe not there though, because that makes it look like it's popping forward. The emergence of brood 14. Why is it called that? Or are you making that up? Yeah, man, that looks pretty good. Let's save again. Well, there's only 2 minutes left, so I think this is actually a good stopping point because I don't want to get into the middle of shading and have to stop and wait until tomorrow. I also don't want to go late because I have not worked on my Griffia novel yet today, and that is another thing that I try to do every work day is work on my novel so that I make slow, steady progress. So I'm going to work on that while my YouTube recording is uploading. Oh, it's any day now. Illinois is currently experiencing emergence of cicadas from brood 13 and 19 simultaneously. Interesting. Huh. I wonder where their numbering system comes from. But that is a mystery that will have to wait until after the stream, because it's time to say goodbye for today. I'm gonna end it here. I think we made excellent progress. We got onto the bees. I'm so happy. I'm so happy the end is in sight. Alright everyone, that is it for today's live stream. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for everything you do to support Studio Mikarts. If you're new to my channel and you want to see more, please follow Studio Mikarts on Twitch to get notified next time I go live. You can also support me by becoming a Twitch subscriber to get ad-free viewing and cute emotes, joining my Patreon for lovely illustrated goodies in the mail, or sending some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. All the links are in my Twitch About section and in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Tomorrow, I'll be back at the same time working on this illustration, so I hope to see you then. But either way, let me wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching!